even though Buffalo has not enjoyed a fine season, Smith has still played well, and so too has that gentleman, Swen, the big center, Keith. Looks for a receiver. He likes to put it down, doesn't he? We've seen him go right and we've seen him go left. And Cotton Fitzsimmons acknowledges that play. Intercepted by the big Dutchman. Comes up on Glenn. Off that time. Celtics leading the Braves. Nader is back for Buffalo. They missed his muscle underneath the glass. Dave Bing. Nader. They had a bad third quarter against Milwaukee. Nader rams it home.
Swen Nader having a heck of a game here today, Brent. Taking that hook shot inside, right and left-handed. Last play down, he shot about a 28-foot jump shot from the outside.
4:41. They go back to Nader.
I said a joke and Coach said, "You got 1 million of them, don't you, Swen? Where do you learn all this?" I thought I'd take the opportunity and say, "Coach, when I played for you, I sat on the bench and I had a lot of time on my hands." People behind me in the stands used to tell me jokes. I thought I had the last word, but I was wrong. He said, "That's interesting, because there's a few times I looked over, I was going to put you in the game, but you were looking behind you, so I didn't know." I don't play basketball. I think about a year ago I played in a game, somebody roped me into a basketball game with referees, full court, the whole thing. And I mean, I was, I wasn't that fast to start out with. But I wasn't very fast a year ago. And I was cutting full speed across the key, and the referee blew the whistle. I said, "What?" He said, 3 seconds. So I thought, I'll show this guy. So the next time down, I'm going faster. He blows the whistle. I said, "What?" He goes, "Loitering." So I can't really just moved into town, and he wanted to impress his boss, so he brought his boss over and his wife over for dinner. And so they were sitting at the table, and the dad wanted to impress the boss, so he had everybody hold hands, and they were going to pray. He said, "Let's pray." And he looked at his younger daughter, and he said, "Honey, would you pray?" And she said, "I don't know how." And the mom said, "Just pray like you've heard Mommy pray, dear." She said, "Okay." So they bow their heads, and she says, "Oh God, why are we inviting these people over?" It reminds me the most of John Wooden is, guess who? Thomas Edison, right? The light bulb, he kept trying different filaments and finally figured out that they were burning out because of the air. So he sucked all the air out of the glass thing, put the filament in there, and it lasted 40 hours. He patented it. But shortly after that, when he was fishing with his bamboo pole, he saw a little splinter on the bamboo pole. He pulled it off and he said, "I wonder if I carbonize this, what would happen?" He carbonized it, put it into a bulb, took the air out of it. It lasted for 1,200 hours. Edison was always improving things, even after he patented it. Albert Einstein said it well when he said, "Setting an example is not the main means of influencing another, it's the only means." Remember I told you that it's a difficult road to try to become the best you can be, instead of just comparing yourself to someone else or being good enough or whatever else there is in this room, right? We know. Some will take this challenge and really go for it. If you were to ask Coach Wooden, what is the secret to teaching, he would quickly say, "No written word, no spoken plea can teach our youth what they should be, nor all the books on all the shelves It's what the teachers are themselves. Favorite poems that he recites that's along these lines is called A Little Chap That Follows Me. A careful man I ought to be, a little fellow follows me. I dare not ever go astray, for fear he'll go the self-same way. I cannot once escape his eyes. Whatever he sees me do, he tries. Like me, he says he's going to be that little chap that follows me. He thinks that I am good and fine, believes in every word of mine. The base in me he must not see, that little fellow that follows me. I must remember as I go through summer sun and winter snow, I am building for the years to be in that little fellow that follows me. I wrote a poem some time ago called The Game of Life. The Little League game was about to begin on a perfectly wonderful day. One team sprinted out with a spirited shout, for the boys were excited to play. As the coach saw the field with his players in place, a vision took over his sight. Each Little League lad grew the age of a dad, complete with a beard and a height. His pitcher, an artist, composed to create on a canvas of waiting and bare. His stroke on the ball made it spin and then fall as it curved and then carved through the air. His catcher, a general, was positioned in place, was leading the rest of the pack. On his signal and sign, they joined to combine with a quick and successful attack. His shortstop, a surgeon, with quickness and skill, when it seemed as though death cast her fate. On the double, he caught what the grave almost got, and threw lifelessness out at the plate. The outfield consisted of no lesser men, 3 statesmen with not one reproach. On third was a preacher, on second a teacher, and on first a Little League coach. As the vision grew fainter, the coach stopped and thought, the epiphany cut like a knife. Baseball was more than a game of sport. It was practice for the game of life. Were there any Boston Celtics fans here? Oh, I should have spoken a little slower then, sorry. Thank you very much.
Well, look at that, folks. Congratulations. Swen here. Swen, thanks for sharing.